it's Julie Hill, and it's Mindful Movement on Monday, Mindful Monday. Some of you asked for me to explain a little bit more about the meridians and the Qi, and I wanted to start a little bit about the difference between Chinese or Eastern philosophy and medicine compared to Western medicine. The two primary differences between these two paradigms of thinking is that Western medicine was developed by the Greeks and the Romans, and it developed through the process of dissection. And so Western medicine looks at the individual parts of the human body and addresses the health of a human body much like it would address fixing a machine, and looks at the individual parts. That's why you have doctors who specialize in certain parts of the body, which is very much different than the way Asian or Eastern Chinese medicine was developed. Traditional Chinese medicine was developed through understanding the energies of the body. The Chinese people thought it was sacrilegious to cut the body, and so they spent thousands and thousands of years studying lifestyle and the energy system of the human condition. These are two totally different approaches to healthcare, and the beauty of this is that today in the 21st century, we are bringing these two ways of thinking about our health together because they complement each other beautifully. Acute conditions like an erupted appendix, it definitely needs to be removed, and so surgery is important in a lot of health conditions, especially acute conditions. But when it comes to chronic conditions like arthritis and depression, all kinds of chronic conditions, most of those are often related to our health style choices. And so when it comes to those types of conditions, the Eastern methods of interventions into health can be very helpful. And the two actually complement each other quite nicely. This practice was developed to introduce people to mindful movement, to the mind-body-spirit connection, and specifically meditation. And so at the end of we will sit down and we'll do a quick little right brain, left brain meditation. The front end will be a little shorter, not so much what we've done in the last, but to give you the experience and what it feels like to be in a meditative state. And so with that, we'll start. Again, always it's important when you do any type of exercise to stretch and to loosen up and to tell your body that you're getting ready to exercise, and that's what we're going to start doing now. So let's start by loosening up our ankles, wrapping our foot in one direction, and then pointing our toe and extending our heel. Point and extend, point and extend, and hold it there for a few moments, feeling the back of your knee. And we'll put that down, and then we'll do the other foot. Go back the other way, and then point your toe and extend your heel. Point, extend, point, and extend, and hold it there for a few minutes, really feeling the back of your knee. And put your foot down. We're going up on our toes and back on our heels. Toes and heels. Toes and heels. Then we're going to bring our shoulders up, stretching them up and pulling them down. Up and down. Up and down. Then we'll roll our shoulders back, loosening up your shoulders a little bit more, and roll them forward. And then stretch your side of your neck out by leaning your ear over to your shoulder, and then lean it back to the other shoulder. And then bring your head up. And then look over your shoulder and bring your head back to the front. Look back the other way and bring it back to the front. Then we're going to push our shoulder blades together and back, and then give yourself a hug. Breathe into your stretch and exhale. Breathe into your stretch Put your shoulder blades together and breathe into the stretch, and then give yourself a hug again, and this time put the other arm on top when you give yourself a hug. And then put your arms down, and then we're going to drop our chin to our chest, stretching out the back of our neck, and come back up slowly. And now we're going to lean forward, stretching out our lower part of our back, letting our head fall forward. And then I want you to come up very slowly. Imagine stacking each vertebrae, starting from the bottom. Stack each vertebrae on top of each other, one at a time. Rolling your spine up and keeping your chin tucked in. I want you to imagine there's a string attached to the top of your head, pulling up and lengthening your spine as long as you can make it. And then relax. And with your arms to the sides of the chair, we're just going to lean sideways and bring your arm up over your head, stretching out your side. Just go as far as you feel. And then we're going to go back and do the same thing on the other side. And then come back. And now take your hand over your lap, hold onto the arm of the chair or your leg if you need to. Take the other hand, put it behind your chair. Lift up your spine, twist, and look behind you. And then come back and do the same thing on the other side. Lift your spine, twist, and look behind you. And then come back. Now we're going to extend our hands out in front of us with our palms up, palms down, and out to the side. Palms up, you should feel that in your elbows. Palms down, out to the sides. One more time, palms up, palms down, and out to the side. And now let's open up our fingers and stretch them as wide as you can make them stretch. And then make a fist. Again, stretch your hands and make a fist. And then let's do this dexterity thing where we're touching each finger to our thumb. And then loosen up your fingers a little bit more, like you're playing the piano or typing. And then with your elbows locked to your sides, we're doing windshield wipers with our wrist. Flaps up and down. Circle your wrist. Circle back the other way. And then just shake everything out. All right, let's take a moment or two to focus on our breathing. Mindfulness is all about the breath. This exercise is a combination of yoga, a little self-massage, Tai Chi, adaptive Tai Chi movements, which is a martial arts, and then it's a little bit about visual meditation. And all of those practices, wherever they originate from, they usually, almost all of them, involve controlled breathing. And this is really the core to any mindful practice. You're breathing in slowly and you're breathing out slowly. I'm having you breathe in through your nose and exhaling out your mouth. The reason we do breathe in through your nose and then exhale out your mouth is to provide you with a sense and a differentiation of the inhale and the exhale. I like to count over the course of breathing in over 4 counts and breathing out 2, 3, 4 over 5 counts. It's important I breathe in over 4 counts and extend the exhale, because exhale, you're breathing in oxygen and you're exhaling carbon dioxide. And that carbon is heavier and more toxic to our body than the inhale of the oxygen, which is food for our body. So let's really empty our lungs this time when we exhale. Breathe in and out. The interesting thing about focusing on your breath in this way, breathe out. It's kind of hard to talk and breathe at the same time, but I'm going to try. Breathe out. Breathing is just natural for us, and we don't have to think about it at all. But when we do think about it, we have to focus and concentrate our mind on the process of controlling our breath slowly, breathing in slowly, and exhaling slowly. That's where the mindfulness comes in. Slowing down and bringing your awareness to the process. And being in the moment. You might hear that a lot. Being in the moment means you're not really thinking about what you're going to be doing next, and you're not worried about what just happened or what happened yesterday. Okay, one more time, and we're going to stand up and match movement to it. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more time, breathe in and out. All right, so now we're going to stand up and we're going to match movement to our breath. And if you're at home, please go behind your chair and use it to catch yourself if you need to. I'm going to stay in front so you can see my feet. Or you can remain seated if you'd like. You don't have to stand up. You can just do the arm movements with us. So we're going to continue to breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in and out. And then we're going to add our arms, and they're going to slowly float up to the front as we breathe in, and then collapse into our chest as we breathe out. And then we're going to awaken our hands as we breathe in, and we're going to slowly let our arms float down to the sides as we breathe out. Slowly bring your arms up, slow, slow, slow. Keep your arms below the height of your shoulders. Bring your arms into your chest now, and then awaken your hands as you breathe in, and let your arms float down to the sides as you breathe out. I'm going to do it again. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Awaken hands and down. All right, so this should be nice and grounded. It should feel nice and grounded. And we're just going to twist. Let the centrifugal force dictate our arm movement, crossing our middle line in front if possible. And then we're going to loosen up our rotator cuffs by letting our arms just kind of fly and dangle around. We're going to move our arms back and forth, creating a big wind. And now we're going to wake up our chi, hitting ourselves right here in the small of our shoulder. And the chi is a Chinese word that has lots of meanings, and in this case, it means the energy. And the chi of your body runs through the meridians of your body, and the meridians are the highways. We think of them as highways of this energy. They correlate to each organ of your body. And this area right here that you're hitting in the small of your shoulders is a main intersection for those meridians. Let's massage our sternums, nice vigorous massages on your sternum. And then your arm between your elbow and your shoulder. And the other arm, like you're taking a shower. You're doing a little self-massage, stimulating the meridian system of your body. And then using this part of your hand, the L-shaped part of your hand, we're going to massage our waist. Putting your hands on your hip or on your waist. I want you to stroke from the back forward, in between the bottom of your rib cage and the top crust of your pelvic bone. And then we're going to use our knuckles to massage the back side with our hands on the hip. We're stroking right down to our tailbone, crossing that sacrum area. And then we'll use our fingertips to massage the sides of our legs between our hip joint and our knee joint. All right. So now that we've done this self-massage, we've loosened up our body joints and we've told our energy of our body that we're ready to do some mindful movement. With our feet and the width of our hips and our shoulders and our toes are pointing straight forward. I want you to take a breath in and a long exhale out. And we're going to step now out with our left foot. And we're going to shift our weight onto the front foot and all of your weights forward. And then we're going to shift back and all of our weights on the back foot. And when we're forward, we're breathing in. And when we shift back, we breathe out. And when we're forward, we're breathing in and we're going to let our arms float up to the sides, just not over your shoulder, just a little bit up. And then we're going to come back and let our arms go down. And when we're forward, we're breathing in, arms come up. And we shift back and they come down. This is the air element. So imagine you're a bird flying through the sky. Think of what bird you might want to be. Breathing in and then breathing out. We're going to do it one more time on this side. Breathe in and arms come up. Shift back and breathe out and your arms go down. And then we're going to step back and let your arms come up. And we're going to slowly let them float down to the sides. And then we're going to step out with our right foot. And we're going to do the same thing. Shift our weight forward, breathe in and let your arms come up. Shift your weight back and let your arms come down. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more time. Slow, slow, slow movements. It's much harder to go slow than it is to go fast because you have to put your mind to it. Then we're going to step back and breathe in and let your arms float down to the sides as you breathe out. We're going to step out now with our left foot. And this time we're going to be a wave against the shore. So we're the ocean and we're going to push out with our hands and then we're going to pull that energy back in. We're going to breathe in and then bring it back and make room for that by breathing out. Breathe in. Grab the shells on the shore and bring them back to you. You're the ocean. You are the wave. And then come back. Step back and breathe in. And then let your arms float down to the sides as you breathe out. Step out again with the right foot. We're going to reach and then bring it back. Breathe in and breathe out. It's important to keep your back straight. You're reaching, you're not bending at the waist. You're just keeping your back straight and come back. And the forward and backward movement comes from shifting your weight forward and bringing it back. And then we're going to step back and breathe in and let your arms float down to the sides as you breathe out. And now we're going to do sun salutations, the fire element. So we're going to gather the energy in the room, reach for that sun, and then bring it down into your hearts. And as we're gathering, we're breathing in, and then we're breathing out when we push it into our hearts. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. One more time. Slow arm movements. And then reach and bring it down into your heart. I want you to hold it here for a few moments, and I want you to think about that energy that you just pushed into your heart. And I want you to think about the energy and visualize it as a light. A white light, a golden light, green, yellow, orange, whatever color suits you. Visualize that light wrapping around your heart and then moving down into your torso, filling your entire torso with light, wrapping around all of your internal organs. Visualize your torso lighting up like a light bulb. And then move that light energy down and around your hip area and down each leg, down your thighs and your hamstrings. Visualize it wrapping around your knee, and then see the light moving down your shins and your calves and wrapping around your ankles. And then visualize that light moving out into your feet, wrapping around all the little bones of your feet. And then bring that light energy back up into your legs and around your knees, up your thighs and hamstrings again, in and around your hip area and back into your torso, wrapping around all of the internal organs. Again, filling your torso with light. And then visualize this light moving up into your shoulders and down each arm, around your elbows, up your forearms, crossing over your hands, and then moving back again into your arms and up into your shoulders again. Visualize it moving across the back of your shoulders and then up into your neck and into your head, wrapping around your brain, filling all the folds and the crevices on the right side of your brain and on the left and in the front and in the back. Now visualize this light energy moving down in between the right and left hemispheres, down to the center part of your brain. And where your brain stem connects to your spine, move the light down your spine, one vertebrae at a time, all the way down to your tailbone. And tuck in your tailbone if you feel like. And then bring that light back up and into your heart. And take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, think about releasing all the stress you may have collected along the way. And now we're going to open up our hands and let that light stream from our hearts into the world around us. And if you want to visualize special people, do so. And visualize this light connecting you to them in some way. And then let's bring that light energy together now and pretend that you're holding a ball in front of your belly, a ball of light. And we're going to let the ball expand and then deflate. And when it expands, I want you to breathe in. And when it deflates, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And now turn this ball over so one hand's on the bottom and one hand's on the top. You're still holding the ball. And with the hand that's on top, in the direction that that top elbow points, I want you to turn. And then turn your ball over and turn back. Turn your ball over and turn back. Turn your ball over and turn back. Beautiful. We're just going to drop the ball now and paint the air with the palms of our hands, smoothing out what's below and what's above and what's all around us, and taking note of how much space your body's taking up on the planet. Identify your personal space. And with your arms to the sides, if I want your hands facing down, I want you to try to feel the gravity pull the palms of your hands. Feel the gravity. Your hands should feel a little tingly. And we're going to take a moment to be grateful to the earth for having this gravity that holds us into place and for providing us with the air and the water, the earth and the fire, everything that sustains our life. Thank you, Earth. And with that, we're going to sit down now and do the right brain, left brain meditation. So return to your seat, keeping both feet on the floor. I want you to focus on your breathing again. Breathing in and exhaling long. When you breathe in, if you can bring that air down to the lower part of your lungs, you can make your belly expand when you inhale, and then deflate when you exhale. Breathing in deep and exhaling long. Breathing in deep and exhaling long. With your eyes closed, I want you to listen to my words. Bring your focus up to the middle of your forehead. Right here between your eyes is what they call the third eye. Breathe in deep and exhale long. And now I want you to shift your focus to the left side of your brain. Using your left eye, with your eyes closed, in your mind's imagination, visualize a circle, tracing a circle on the left side. Use your eye to actually trace the circle. That means I want your eye muscle to be actually moving inside, even if your eyes are closed. And then trace that circle backwards. Trace a triangle. And then trace the triangle backwards. Trace a square. And then trace the square backwards. And now trace a star. And trace the star backwards. Stars are hard. And bring your focus back to the middle of your forehead and take a few breaths to center yourself. Breathing in deep and exhaling long. Shift your focus now to the right side of your brain. Using your right eye, in your mind's imagination, trace a circle on the right side. Using your eye muscle to move around, tracing a circle. And then trace it backwards. Trace a triangle. And trace the triangle backwards. Trace a square. Trace the square backwards. And now try a star. And trace the star backwards. And then bring your focus back to the middle of your forehead and take a few breaths to center yourself. Breathing in deep and exhaling long. Breathe in deep. Exhale long. Breathe in deep. And exhale long. Okay, bring your focus back to the middle, back to the room, your awareness back to the room. That was the first half of the mindful movement meditation, the right brain and left brain meditation, excuse me. Next week when you tune in, we'll do the complete meditation, but we're going to stop it here for now because I want to explain to you a little bit about what you're doing. It's important for you to keep your eyes closed. That's a very important part of meditation. And when you are tracing those shapes in your mind's imagination, on the left side and then on the right side, when you're tracing those shapes, it's important to use your eye muscle. The eye muscle is the largest muscle in your head, in your brain, and it does so much for your perception and for your balance. And so this muscle needs to be exercised. And it doesn't mean to be bringing in information, but you're actually exercising the muscle by moving your eyeball in the directions that I'm telling you to move in. The star is a hard shape to trace. A lot of people, when I first started, I do it on the outside, tracing around the outside. Doing the star where you cross over in the middle is very difficult at the beginning. And so you have to work up to that. Some people have found that if you actually trace the shapes, the numbers and the letters when the second half of it on your leg, that some people are kinetic learners, and so the movement of actually drawing on your leg helps them do it in their mind. We're going to talk about the slowness of the movement a little bit, and the fact that it takes your brain, it works your brain in a way where your brain has to differentiate where your arm is in space to make it move really slow. This is very good. Jill Bolte Taylor, this talks about the Anat Banyel movement therapy, and it's all about extremely slow movement. Turning your head really slow. As slow and as controlled as you can. In the beginning, you might not be able to move your head as slow as I am, but that takes practice. Which brings me to the final thing I want to talk about. Our first two videos were almost exactly the same. Bear with me. I'm learning this is new for me to be videotaping this way. And so as I get better and talk slower, the videos I think will also get better. Or maybe you're new to this experience, and if you are, welcome. We'll get better as we go. But unlike some exercise classes that you might go to, mindfulness, meditation, yoga, Tai Chi, they are routine practices, meaning that they're often done exactly the same way. And so I don't shift it up too much. I give you more information as we go along and break things down a little bit and explain things a little bit. That's what the difference will be. Each time I'm hoping to give you a little bit more information about mindfulness and about the mind-body-spirit connection. But the basic routine is going to stay the same because that's exactly what it is. It's a routine practice. And you do this every day, or even if you do it once a day, you'll be doing your body a lot of good. If you're doing it once a week, you're doing your body a lot of good. If you're doing it every day, you're doing it a lot of good. And even if you never do it again, in this moment, you've done your body a lot of good. Now I can see that the mowers are going to be coming, and so I'm going to have to cut it short because the mowers will make it so you can't hear me. I'm sorry about that. But I hope you enjoyed this session today, and we'll talk more about Chinese medicine. I'm going to come up close to the camera with this diagram. This shows you a little bit about the meridians. I hope you can see the meridians, the highways that they move through your body. And we're going to try to connect this to the web, or to the page, so that you can print this out and look for it. And that will be something we'll do periodically, is add information for you to print off and to study if you're interested. That's it. Thanks for coming. See you next week. Bye.